guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another horror review. Tonight we're looking at Arrow's release of 3 from the 3 and 3 Extreme box set, if you like, because this obviously contains 2 movies. But we're going to look at the first one tonight called 3. But before we have a look at this, let's have a look at the actual release. So here's a quick look at 3 Extremes. Now we have already done an unboxing of this on a separate video from my Arrow video one when I did all 5 new releases. So we'll have another quick look. I believe this is a double movie. Disc 1 contains 3 and Disc 2 contains 3 Extremes. So tonight we're going to be looking at 3. That's the slipcase. So in this we do have a postcard for the birthday. It comes with a poster and it comes with a booklet, and it comes with the 2 Blu-rays with the 2 movies on it. So that is a little look at the physical release of 3 and 3 Extremes. So I didn't go into too much detail simply because I've already done that. If you remember back, I did a video where we unboxed and had a close look at all 5 releases from Arrow Video from the month of October 2025, because there were 5 that were really cool and I bought all 5. So we did that in that video, so that we didn't need to go too in depth. But it is a really nice little release. But what about the special features? Let's have a look at that. So this is the main menu for 3. Let's have a look at the special features on this disc. We have Cross-Pollination Horror Part 1, Recalling Memories. I don't have to click. Oh yeah, a newly filmed interview with Kim Ji-woon on Memories. Making Memories, a newly filmed interview with Hong Koyong Poyu. Sorry guys, on this photograph of the segment of Memories. Terror Within Borders, a newly edited interview with Going Home director Peter Yu-song Chan. Taste, Taboo and Truth, a new edited interview with Eugenia Yuen, star of segment Going Home. Peter Yong Chan Cinema Without Borders, Kim Ji-woon Memories of Beyond the Grave, Making of Featurette, and the trailer. That is the special features on the first disc 3. Right, so there is some special features on the disc, which is pretty cool. So we're going to get on now and do the story. So this is an anthology, just like an Amicus film. We have 3 very separate stories, but from different sort of Asian countries. We have one here, the first story, which is from Korea. The second story is from Thailand, and the third story is from Hong Kong. So we got 3 Hong Kong. So we got 3 different stories going on. The first one tells the story of I'll try and put some clips in, but a lot of these sort of Asian films get blocked if you put clips in. They've got very strong copyright laws though, so it tend to get blocked. So I'll try my best. The first story is a story about a husband and a wife who are... It's a strange little story. It starts off with that, as you think she's gone missing, and he's sort of like seeing these visions of her, like ghostly visions of her, and her daughter, and he's like at home with her, is their daughter and their sister, and everyone's looking for his wife. But it kind of turns out that he has killed her, and he's cut her up, and he's put her into like a black bag. But the film diverses off in two angles. We see him trying to pretend that his wife's gone missing, something bad's happened, and we see her as a ghost, and doesn't realise that she's dead, and all this sort of thing. And it's quite a good concept how that sort of plays out, and it kind of plays out in like with a very, none of these have a happy ending, none of these stories, and it kind of plays out with that story unfolding about he's actually killed her and stuff like that. So it's a really cool story, really quite scary. There's some quite scary jump scares because he sees visions of her ghost, so she's haunting him as such, and while the rest of the world still thinks she's missing. So that's a really cool story, and I think, if I remember right, it's called Memories. The second story, I can't remember what it's called, but it's in Thailand, and it's about this kind of theatre of these sort of puppets and sort of like the very dressed up sort of theatrical sort of dancers like Thailand have with the big hats and stuff like that. And it's about this puppet master that dies, and he's cursed these puppets, and the family had tried to get rid of the puppets by dumping them in the river, but the young the mother and the I think the daughter that did it drowned. And so like all these sort of things coming up, and there's a younger daughter, and she finds one of the puppets and drags it out the river, and all these sort of bad things happen to her father, who's like the leader of this sort of theatrical group. He doesn't believe in the curse, but he's got a young understudy who does believe in the curse of these puppets, and all these bad things start to happen to the party. They're getting killed off and bumped off, and even the father nearly drowns in the river, but his understudy saves him and brings him back to the side. And it's all about these sort of curse sort of going on, and it's, again, it plays out really, really well. I really like it. It's a good story. And the last story, which I believe is called Going Home, is from Hong Kong, and it's about this policeman and supposedly his son, and they're moving into this old apartment block where everybody else is moving out. Apparently they're going to be knocking it down in a month's time. And they go moving in there, and there's one other guy living in there with his so-called wife, and he's a sort of like Chinese medicine doctor, and the son goes missing. And so the police guy goes looking. We see this strange like young girl in a red coat, and the young lad seems to disappear with her. And the police officer goes looking for her, and he knocks on the house of this guy with his wife, who he is supposed to be paralyzed. And he ends up kidnapping the policeman and stuff like this because he's being nosy. And this guy's wife is actually dead, and he believes the Chinese medicine's going to revive her. She died of like cancer or something, and he believes that in 3 days she's going to revive. And he kidnaps the police officer guy to stop him from going off to tell anybody. And then the police officer guy's trying to get out because he's trying to find the lad. And all this sort of comes on, and then that comes to a climatic end, which I'm not going to say because I don't want to spoil any of these endings. You need to watch them all. But it does have a little bit of a mixed up sort of thing. You think, well, what's happened to the young boy and all this sort of thing? Does that story get lost? But it kind of doesn't. It sort of self-resolves as well. But again, it's another really cool story. So let's have a little look at the characters. Yeah, in all three segments, the characters are really cool. Really well acted, this film. It's really well played out. And all stories are very, very engaging down to the characters, which is really cool. So we won't waste any time. Let's get to the final verdict. I'm going to score this an amazing watch and give it a 9 out of 10. It's a really good anthology. I've only watched the first one called 3. There is another one called 3 Extreme. So I think they're going to be more extreme horror stories. But these are all kind of very downbeat and quite, especially the last one is a very sort of sad tale, really. And you feel sorry for all the characters in it. Um, but and it's not very horror driven. But the other two are, obviously with the puppet one from Thailand is a curse, and the first one is a sort of a killer being haunted by his victim, if you like, who doesn't even believe she's dead. And so it's quite eerie. All three of them are very, very eerie and very, very downbeat. But the thing that shines in this film is the imagery, especially in the last segment. The imagery in that is just really strong and powerful. A lot of these are filmed in sort of places that are sort of run down, or sort of called, that sort of down to normal life sort of areas of these countries. Because when you see these sort of films, it's all in sort of like posh areas. You don't see like this in the tower blocks or apartments and stuff like this. It's all like sort of like almost run down areas of these sort of areas, but that helps the stories play out really well. The pluses of the edition, it is really well shot. The photography is fantastic, and it looks really, really nice. And I like it because the speech, they're all in their own language with subtitles, but they're not overly fastly spoken. There's plenty of time for you to read the subtitles and to get a grip for the stories. And they all have little twists and turns in them, which is really cool, just like Amicus films. This plays out just like an Amicus film, like from Beyond the Grave, like The House That Dripped Blood, all these sort of Amicus films. It plays out just like it. It's really, really cool. Absolutely loved it. 9 out of 10. If you guys seen it, let me know down below. Now, I'm going to leave it a while now till I watch the second film in this story. Simply because I indulged in this one and I loved it. And I thought if I go straight into the other one, I might not like it as much. So I want a nice gap, maybe even a month before I get to the next one. But it's really, really cool and I do recommend it, guys. But I also recommend you checking out these channels, the Horror Geek, Horror Fanatic, RS Designs, The Maniac, Sammy G's World of Cinema, Grumpy Andrew's Horror House. Check out Cat Watches Horror Movies. Check out Skin Crawler. They're all good channels. Go and check them out, guys. A massive shout out to my lad. Till next time, look after yourselves. Look after one another, and I really hope I see you all soon.